Hey love, I see you. I really do. Maybe you just woke up from a dream where the numbers 1, 2, 2, 1 kept flashing behind your eyelids. Maybe you glanced at your phone and the time read 12:21 twice today. Or maybe you were scrolling through your messages and suddenly a photo from 2 years ago popped up in your memories. And there it was again, 12:21 stamped on a receipt, a license plate, a street sign like a cosmic wink. And something inside you stirred. Not fear, not confusion, but a quiet knowing like a whisper from deep within your soul saying, pay attention. Something sacred is happening. Let me tell you something, sweet one. You are not imagining it. You are not crazy. You are not chasing signs like a desperate soul in the desert. You are being called. And not just by fate or coincidence or random number patterns. No. This is something far more beautiful, far more divine. This is the voice of the heavens, soft, persistent, loving, reaching through the veil to touch your heart. And today, I want to sit with you, just like we're sharing tea on a quiet Sunday morning, and talk about what it really means when you keep seeing 12:21. Because I've been there. I remember the first time it happened to me. I was standing in the grocery store, frazzled, running late for a meeting I didn't even want to go to. My mind was racing bills, deadlines, a relationship that was crumbling like old paper in the wind. And then, as I reached for a carton of almond milk, I looked up at the digital clock above the deli counter, 12:21. I blinked, thought nothing of it. But later that day, driving home, my GPS rerouted me, and I passed a construction sign with a permit number, 12:21. Then that night, I opened my journal to write a prayer, and the page number, you guessed it. My heart started to beat differently. Not fast, not panicked, but awake. Like something deep inside me had been nudged from sleep. And in that moment, I whispered, okay, I'm listening. And the heavens responded. Because love, when you see repeating numbers, especially sequences like 12:21, it's not random. It's not your brain playing tricks. It's a language, a divine code, a love letter written in light and frequency from the angelic realms. And today, I want to open that letter with you. This isn't just about numerology. This isn't just about manifestation or law of attraction trends you see on social media. This is about sacred communication. This is about Archangel Michael, yes, the Archangel Michael, the warrior of light, the protector, the one who stands at the gates of heaven with a flaming sword, personally reaching through the dimensions to say, I'm here. You're not alone. And it's time. Time for what? Time to awaken. Time to remember who you are. Time to step into the destiny that's been waiting for you since before you were born. And yes, 1221 is the key. But before we dive into the meaning of these numbers, I want you to take a deep breath with me. In and out. Let it go. Let the noise of the world soften. Let the doubts and fears take a back seat for just a few minutes. Because what we're about to explore isn't just information, it's initiation. You're not just learning something today. You're being awakened to something. Hey there, beautiful soul. Welcome to Angelic Inspiration, a sacred space where heaven meets earth, where whispers from the divine are not just heard, but felt. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found your way to us. Whether you were led by a dream, a sudden urge, or the gentle nudge of an angel, know this, you're exactly where you're meant to be. This channel isn't about complicated theology or rigid rules. It's about connection. It's about remembering that you are never alone, that the angels, the archangels, and the divine love of God are with you right now, guiding your steps, holding your heart, and speaking to you in ways you're only beginning to recognize. Here at Angelic Inspiration, we walk together through the quiet miracles of everyday life. We decode the signs, the repeating numbers, the feathers on the sidewalk, the dreams that feel too real to ignore. We explore how archangels like Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and others are actively communicating with us right now, offering protection, clarity, courage, and love. We share prayers, meditations, and real-life stories because this journey isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about saying, I'm here. I'm listening even when life feels heavy or uncertain. And if you've seen 1221 lately on the clock, a license plate, a receipt, then this channel is waiting for you. Because that number, that's not random. That's a divine signal. And we're going to unpack exactly what Archangel Michael is trying to tell you. So if you've ever felt a whisper in your spirit, if you've ever looked up at the sky and wondered, is someone out there? Then you're home. So please hit that subscribe button below. Tap the bell so you never miss a message. Because the angels don't speak only in thunder and lightning sometimes. They speak in a still, small voice. And in the numbers that keep showing up at just the right time. This is your reminder. You are seen. You are guided. You are so deeply loved. And together, we're going to learn how to listen. Welcome to Angelic Inspiration, friend. Your journey into divine connection starts right here. So let's begin. Let's talk about why 1221 has found you. Have you ever noticed how children talk to invisible friends and we smile and say, oh, that's just their imagination? But what if they're not imagining at all? What if they're just fluent in a language we've forgotten? Because here's the truth, love. The angels never left. They're not distant beings floating on clouds, waiting for us to die so they can welcome us home. No. They're here. Right now. Standing beside you as you watch this. Hovering in the quiet corners of your room. Walking with you down the street. Whispering in the rustle of leaves, in the hum of your refrigerator, in the stillness between your thoughts. And they want to talk to you. But how do you speak to someone who doesn't have a body? How do you send a message to a soul made of light and love? You use symbols. You use frequency. You use numbers. Because numbers are not just mathematical tools. They are vibrational codes. Ancient, universal, precise. The same numbers that form galaxies, that govern the rhythm of your heartbeat, that shape the petals of a rose. These are the building blocks of creation. And the angels use them to speak. We call them angel numbers, but really, they're more like divine breadcrumbs, little signs left along your path to say, keep going. You're close. I'm with you. And 1221? That's not just a number. That's a summons. Now, let's break it down, not with cold logic, but with soulful understanding. In numerology, every number carries a vibration, a frequency, a personality. And when numbers repeat or appear in sequences, their energy intensifies. It's like your soul's GPS recalculating, pay attention. So let's look at 1221. First, notice the symmetry. 1221. It's like a mirror. A reflection, a divine echo. It begins and ends with 1, the number of new beginnings, leadership, creation, and manifestation. The spark, the first breath of God over the waters, the moment light said, let there be, and there was. Then, in the middle, we have 2 to 2 doubled. And 2 is the number of balance, harmony, faith, and divine partnership. It's the energy of the moon and tides, of yin and yang, of trust and surrender. It's the quiet voice that says, be still. I've got you. So when you put it together, 1, 2, 2, 1, you get a powerful message. A new beginning 1, built on faith and balance 2 to 2, leading you back to your true self 1. It's a full circle, a homecoming. But there's more. If you add the digits, 1, 2 plus 1 equals 6, and 6. That's the number of love, family, harmony, responsibility, and service. It's the nurturer, the healer, the one who builds homes, not just of wood and stone, but of heart and soul. So 1221 is not just about you, it's about how your awakening serves others. It's about stepping into your purpose so you can lift someone else up. And here's where it gets even deeper. In angelic communication, numbers often come in triplets or quadruplets as signals from specific archangels. And 1221, this is Archangel Michael's signature. Yes, Michael. Not just a name from Sunday school, not just a statue in a cathedral, but a living, breathing, fiery presence of divine protection, courage, and truth. And he's not just guarding heaven, he's guarding you. I know it sounds dramatic, But let me ask you, have you ever felt a sudden surge of courage when you thought you couldn't go on? A voice inside that said, stand up. Speak your truth. You're safe. That was him. Have you ever been about to make a decision that didn't feel right, something logical, but soul deadening, and then out of nowhere, your phone dies, or traffic stops you, or a friend calls with a random message that changes everything? That was him. Michael doesn't always come with a sword and thunder. Sometimes he comes as a whisper, a delay, a coincidence that saves your life. And now he's using numbers to get your attention. Because something is shifting. You're standing on the edge of a threshold, and he's saying, don't look down. Look up. I'm holding the rope. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I'm not special. Why would an archangel speak to me? Oh, sweet soul. Let me tell you something I've learned in my years of walking this path. There is no such thing as an ordinary human being. You are a cosmic miracle, a soul forged in the heart of God, sent here with a mission only you can fulfill. And the fact that you're seeing 1221, that's proof. This isn't happening to everyone. It's happening to you. Because you're ready. Not perfect. Not spiritual enough. Not free of fear or doubt. But ready. Ready to hear the call. Ready to remember your strength. Ready to stop hiding. And Michael, he's not waiting for you to be perfect. He's waiting for you to say yes. Just like Moses, who stuttered and feared public speaking, but said yes to leading a nation. Just like Mary, who was young and scared, but said yes to birthing the light. Just like you standing here, heart open, wondering if you're dreaming all of this. But you're not. This is real. And it's only just beginning. So take another breath. Feel that warmth in your chest. That little spark. That's him. That's love. That's the beginning of everything. Continue with me, love. Let's go deeper. Let's talk about what Michael is really trying to tell you through 1221. Archangel Michael's message. You are being called to courage. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was going through one of the darkest seasons of my life. I had just ended a long-term relationship that I thought was my forever. My business was failing. I felt like a fraud every time I posted something spiritual online. And worst of all, I felt abandoned by God. Like I had prayed and fasted and meditated and nothing changed. One night, I sat on my bathroom floor, tears streaming, whispering, I can't do this anymore. And then out of nowhere, I saw it. My phone screen lit up with a notification. Time, 1221. I froze. I didn't believe in signs back then. I thought it was all woo-woo nonsense. But something about that moment, it stopped me. And in the silence, a voice not out loud, but deep in my spirit said, you are not alone. I am with you, and you are not finished. And I knew it was Michael. Not because I saw wings or fire, but because the fear left, and courage came. And in that moment, I whispered, okay, I'll keep going. And I did. And everything changed. Because here's what Michael really wants you to know when you see 1221. You're being called to courage. Not the kind of courage that roars or fights or demands attention, but the quiet, trembling kind. The kind that says, I'm scared, but I'll do it anyway. The kind that lets go of a toxic relationship, even when you still love them. The kind that quits a job that pays well, but kills your soul. The kind that speaks your truth, even when your voice shakes. Michael isn't just the warrior of light. He's the awakener of courage. And he knows better than anyone that the greatest battles aren't fought with swords, but with choice. Every day, you stand at a crossroads. One path, comfort, safety, familiar pain. The other, unknown, risk, divine possibility. And 1221. That's Michael standing beside you, hand on your shoulder, saying, take the leap. I'll catch you. Now, I know what you might be facing. Maybe it's a decision about love. Maybe it's a calling you've been ignoring. Maybe it's grief or illness or a secret you've carried too long. And you're wondering, How do I even begin? Here's the truth. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step. And Michael isn't asking you to have it all figured out. He's asking you to trust, to believe deep in your bones that you are seen, known, and held. And that this moment, this exact moment, is not an accident. It's assignment. You weren't brought here to suffer. You weren't brought here to hide. You were brought here to shine. And sometimes shining means standing up when every part of you wants to sit down. It means saying no when everyone expects you to say yes. It means forgiving when it feels impossible. It means loving when you've been broken. And Michael, he's not just watching. He's fighting for you. Did you know that in ancient texts, Michael is described as the one who battles the dragon, not just in the sky, but in the human heart? The dragon of fear. The dragon of shame. The dragon of I'm not enough. And every time you choose love over fear, light over darkness, faith over doubt, you win a battle. And Michael cheers, because you are his victory. Now, let me ask you something. What is the one thing you've been avoiding? The one decision that keeps showing up in your dreams? The one truth you're afraid to speak? That's where Michael is standing. Not in the easy places. Not in the comfortable zones. But right there on the edge of your fear, saying, I'm with you. Step forward. And when you do, that's when the miracle happens. Because courage invites grace. And grace changes everything. So if you're seeing 1221, know this. You are not being punished. You are not being tested beyond your strength. You are being prepared for a new chapter, for a new identity, for a life that aligns with your soul. And Michael is your guide, not a distant deity, but a present, powerful, personal protector. And he's not just guarding your body, he's guarding your destiny. So the next time you see 1221 on the clock or 1221 on a license plate, don't just glance and move on. Pause. Take a breath. Look up. And say out loud, if you can, Michael, I hear you. I'm ready. Lead me. Because he will. He always does. But there's more love. There's still more to uncover. Let's talk about what 1221 means for your relationships, your purpose, and your soul's mission. Are you ready to go deeper? The mirror of 1221. Balance, twin flames, and sacred relationships. Have you ever looked into a mirror and seen someone you didn't recognize? Maybe your eyes were tired. Maybe your smile didn't reach them. Maybe you saw the weight of years of heartbreak, of dreams deferred. And in that moment you whispered, who am I now? That mirror moment? That's what 1221 is. Because remember 1221 is a palindrome. It reads the same forward and backward. It's a reflection. And the universe is holding up a mirror to your soul, saying, look closely. What do you see? Because 1221 isn't just about courage. It's about balance. And balance begins with relationship. Not just with others, but with yourself. See the two twos in the center? That's divine partnership. But not just romantic. Not just marriage or soulmates. It's about inner harmony. It's about the masculine and feminine within you, your strength and your softness, your logic and your intuition, your fire and your flow. And when that balance is off, life feels heavy, out of sync, like you're running on a treadmill going nowhere. But 1221 is a reset, a divine recalibration. And often when this number appears, it's because your soul is being prepared for a sacred relationship. Now, before you start scanning your dating app, let me clarify. This isn't always about romance. Yes, 1221 can signal the arrival or reconnection of a twin flame or soulmate. But more often, it's about preparing your heart to receive love, whether from a partner, a friend, a child, or even yourself. Because you can't truly love another until you love the one staring back at you in the mirror. And Michael knows this. That's why he's showing you 1221. He's not just protecting you from danger. He's protecting you from loneliness. From the kind that doesn't come from being single, but from being disconnected from God, from your purpose, from your own heart. And here's a truth I've learned the hard way. You don't find your twin flame. You become one. You become so whole, so radiant, so at peace with yourself, that when the right person comes, it's not a rescue. It's a reunion. And 1221 is often a sign that you're entering this phase of inner union. You're being called to forgive the past, release old stories. Stop seeking validation from others. Start listening to your soul. And when you do, that's when love finds you. Not because you're desperate, but because you're ready. Now, if you're already in a relationship, 1221 might be a call to rebalance. To bring more honesty, more vulnerability, more divine love into the space between you. Because every relationship is a mirror. And if there's tension, it's not always about the other person. It's about what's unresolved within you. So ask yourself, where am I giving too much? Where am I withholding love? Where am I afraid to be seen? And then invite Michael in. Yes, invite him. Say, Michael, bring truth into this relationship. Heal what needs healing. Protect our love. And if it's not meant to be, give me the courage to let go. Because that's real faith. Not clinging, not controlling, but trusting. And Michael honors that. He doesn't force outcomes. He clears the path. So if you've been praying for a relationship, don't just wait. Work on you. Because the most powerful prayer isn't send me my person. It's make me ready to love and be loved. And when that happens, the universe conspires. I've seen it. I've lived it. And I believe it for you. So keep seeing 1221. Let it remind you, you are becoming whole. You are becoming love. You are becoming the person you were meant to be. And in that becoming, everything else falls into place. But there's still more love. So much more. Let's talk about how 1221 is guiding you toward your divine purpose. Are you ready to hear what your soul has been whispering? Your soul's assignment, 1221, and the awakening of purpose. Let me tell you something that changed my life. You were born with a purpose. Not a job. Not a title. Not a bank account. But a sacred assignment, a unique gift, a message, a light only you can bring into this world. And right now, that purpose is stirring. Like a seed under snow, waiting for the first warm rain. And 1221, that's the rain. That's the divine signal. It's time to rise. Because the number 1, the beginning and the end of 1221 represents manifestation. It's the energy of creation, of stepping into your power as a co-creator with God. And the 2 to 2, that's the support. The divine teamwork, the angels, the guides, the ancestors all saying, we've got your back. So when you see 1221, know this. You're not being called to do something big in the world's eyes. You're being called to be true in your own. And that changes everything. Maybe your purpose isn't to write a bestseller. Maybe it's to hold someone's hand in hospice and whisper, you're not alone. Maybe it's not to preach on a stage. Maybe it's to raise your children with unconditional love. Maybe it's not to heal with medicine. Maybe it's to heal with a smile, a text, a prayer. Purpose isn't about fame. It's about faithfulness. It's about showing up day after day and doing the small things with great love. And Michael, he's not just guarding your life. He's guarding your calling. Because there are forces, both seen and unseen, that try to distract you, discourage you, delay you, fear, doubt, comparison, busyness. And Michael stands against them all. With his sword of truth, with his shield of faith, with his voice that says, you were made for this. So if you've been feeling restless, like there's something more, but you can't name it, 1221 is confirmation. You're not crazy. You're called. And the first step, listen, not to the world, not to your ego, but to the quiet voice within. The one that says, I love helping people. I feel alive when I create. I want to make a difference. That's your soul. That's your purpose knocking. And Michael is the one opening the door. So start small. Write one sentence about what brings you joy. Pray one prayer, God, show me my purpose. Take one step toward the thing that scares you but also excites you. And watch what happens. Because when you move in faith, the heavens move with you. I've seen people get jobs they didn't apply for, reconnect with people they thought were lost, receive ideas that changed their lives. All because they responded to the signs. To the numbers, to the whispers, and you can too. So the next time you see 1221, don't just acknowledge it. Act on it. Say, Michael, I'm ready. Show me the next step. And then listen. In the silence. In the dreams. In the coincidences. Because your purpose isn't far away. It's right here. In your hands. In your heart. In your courage. And Michael is with you every step of the way. But before we close, love, let's talk about how to keep this connection alive. How to hear Michael's voice every day. Are you ready to walk in divine partnership? How to respond. A sacred practice for hearing Michael's voice. You don't need a crystal. You don't need a fancy altar. You don't need to speak in tongues or meditate for hours. You just need willingness and a heart that says, I'm listening. So here's what I want you to do starting today. 1. Acknowledge the sign. The next time you see 1221, pause. Smile. Say, thank you, Michael. I see you. 2. Speak to him. Out loud, in your car, in your kitchen. Michael, I trust you. Lead me. Protect me. Help me be brave. 3. Keep a journal. Write down when you see 1221. Note what you were thinking, feeling, doing. Over time, you'll see patterns. Messages. Guidance. 4. Ask for a sign. If you're unsure about a decision, pray, Michael, if this is right, show me 1221 again. And then watch. The universe will respond. 5. Walk in courage. Do one thing every day that scares you but aligns with your soul. That's how you build faith. And remember, Michael isn't far away. He's closer than your breath. Closer than your heartbeat. He's the still small voice that says, you are loved. You are safe. You are never alone. So keep seeing 1221, not as a number, but as a holy invitation to awaken, to rise, to become who you were born to be. And when you do, the world will change, because one awakened soul can shift the entire planet. And that soul is you. Hey, before you go, hit that like button if this touched your heart. Subscribe if you want more messages like this straight from the angels. And comment below, Michael, I'm listening. Let's create a wave of courage together. And remember, love, you are not alone. You are seen. You are loved. And 1221, that's not an accident. It's a love letter from the heavens to you. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep your eyes open and your heart braver.